The third side is always one of opinion from people that have no idea, right? That have no idea about this or have no idea about that. You're a comedian and you're an amazing talent. In today's time, Mo, are you in a better place now than where you think you were at the beginning of the shitstorm of conversation and back and forth? Or do you think that you're still in a place of being misunderstood within the conversation of back and forth?
That's a great question, baby. And I don't think that I'm misunderstood. I think I'm just the wrong package to deliver the message. And historically, that's how it's always been. When there was a fat Black woman that had something to say, she was told, "Mammy, sit down, shut up, because you should be just thankful you got invited to the party." So there was no misunderstanding. What happened was, Kevin, I said no. And because I said no to Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Lionsgate, that's when the firestorm came, because it was that, how dare you say no to us? Well, I had no contractual obligation to you. I was done with my contract. I was done with my contractual obligation. And when y'all say, well, do us a favor, well, here's my question. Could I call Lionsgate and say, do me a favor, let me hold $1 million? Could I do that?
No, you can't do that.
Okay. Could I call Oprah Winfrey and say, hey, Oprah, do me a favor, let me hold $1 million?
I mean, you could ask, but the chances of her just giving you the favor of $1 million are probably slim to none.
Okay. How about if I call Tyler Perry and say, hey, Tyler, do me a favor and let me hold $1 million? What you think?
I mean, I think that attaching $1 million and a favor to any conversation is tough. I don't think the likelihood of that happening is high. I can only relate, Mo, because I went through the same shit with Sony. Remember when Sony and the social media shit happened? I was called a hoe, I was called a whore because I asked for money for marketing and promotion.
And when that happened and people asked me what I thought, I said that baby is right. Mm-hmm. Because that's his image. That's mm-hmm. that's his work. So he's absolutely right. I didn't flinch and I didn't waver, because right is right and wrong is wrong. There is no, I wasn't there. I can't really, right is right and wrong is wrong. First of all, let me say I'm proud of you to be courageous enough to have this conversation, because a lot of people would not. When you say, Mo, it got bigger and bigger and y'all should have come together, I can't tell you how many times we tried to reach out. I can't tell you how many times we said, can we please all have a sit down? See, Kevin, this right here, I have my phone. I got the recordings of Tyler Perry saying what I did was wrong and you did nothing wrong. And when my movie comes out, I'm going to let the people know, but y'all got it too hot on the streets. So I got to wait till it cooled down. Now, this is after I've said to this man, Tyler, my family has taken a hit. My family has taken a financial hit negatively, brother. And y'all know I'm sitting in a lie. Y'all know I'm sitting in a lie. You went around and you told people how difficult I was to work with. You and I never worked together. Oprah Winfrey called my husband up directly, and she said, I totally agree with the position y'all taking, and sometimes you gotta draw the line in the sand. Lee Daniels said, Mama, you're absolutely right, but I don't think it'll play out good for you. So now you got Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels saying privately, you're absolutely right. Then on top of that, there's Steve Harvey, privately, you're absolutely right. So it got bigger and bigger, because what I wasn't willing to do was waver from knowing that I'm right. And what y'all are asking me to do is to work for free in hopes that they like me enough that they'll give me a chance. So you're asking me to leave my family, go overseas, bring nothing back home, but the hope that you like me enough. I'm 30 years in, y'all. I'm 30 years in. How much proving do I have to do? How much, okay, Monique, we're going to get him on the next one. You know how many times I've heard that, Kevin? We're going to get him on the next one. We're going to get him on the next one. And here's the thing, baby. I don't want you to take my word, because you know your sis. You know how I operate.
Mm-hmm.
My integrity is everything.
Mm-hmm.
My character is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And those three people, along with Lionsgate, y'all stopped my career for the last, it's going on 11 years, Kevin. 11 years. And to not have my peers, my brothers in comedy, my sisters in comedy, to say, hold up, y'all. Y'all know what she's saying ain't no bullshit. Y'all know this is what they do to us. But when folks took a position, we can't touch that. I'm like, y'all, don't y'all know that's why they can keep doing it to us? When they came out about Ellen, and I saw so many of y'all run to her defense, and then you can only tell your relationship. Like, you can only share what your relationship is. So if that's your truth, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's my relationship with this woman, and I know she's getting hit right now, and let me just tell y'all what I know about her. When you started, you told me what I meant to you, and that means everything to me. But when I needed my community of my brothers and sisters to say, hold up, we know that woman, we know her.
I feel that, and you know what, Mo? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my I'm gonna take my little bashing and be one of those people that you're referring to, because I didn't reach out to you. I didn't talk to you during that time. I didn't check to see if it was what it was. I looked at it as it's none of my business, man, and that shit is getting crazy, right? I removed myself from just any type of dialogue.
Let me tell you something. I never removed myself from you. When you were going through that shit and they wanted to know how I felt about it, I never removed myself from you, because what I told them was, what I'm not going to let y'all do is speak about that baby and his family. Him and his wife going to go through what they got to go through, and if they love each other, they're going to pull through. But what y'all not going to do is sit here and have no shit show about my baby. It was my business, because they asked me the question. It was my business when you got in that goddamn accident. That was my business. I don't want to hear from nobody else. I need to hear his voice. I need to hear him. See, what happens is we get caught up and stuck in, well, that ain't my business. And first, let me address this, because I understand where you're coming from when you're saying, Mo, did you miss the message? I want to address that. Mm-hmm. What do you do, Kevin, when someone says, I was wrong, and what I did to you was wrong, and I'm going to say what I did to you was wrong? What do you then do? Have I said to myself and said, could you have done this differently? Have I said to myself and said, are you being too loud? And then I say to myself, I'm not being loud enough, because obviously y'all still aren't hearing me, because I still sit in this blackball shit when y'all know it ain't true. When you know it ain't true. So now everybody's starting to come out about the mistreatment, the inequalities, the injustices, the low money they've been paid. Now it's popular. Let's speak about it now. Well, I spoke about it damn near 11 years ago. And when I did, I was looked at like, are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Now y'all hear this man saying, I'm going to say it when my movie comes out. That movie was Boo. Boo then came, went. If you heard him say it, then I heard him say it, and you know neither one of us heard him say it. And Tyler Perry offered me $500,000. $500,000. I said, Tyler, keep your money. Just clear my name. I've worked too hard for my name. So to answer you, if I may, if I had to do it all over again, Kevin, I would do it the exact same way. Because I sat down with those people. I talked with those people. And they said, you ain't doing nothing wrong. And when it came time to say it out loud, they became cowards and fearful. And what I can't do is let this machine see me trying to defend this fat Black woman. So what we'll do is we'll put her out to fry. See, I had to watch my sister Cheryl Underwood. One day on that show, her and Sharon and the sister Julie, they all laughed. What's she doing asking for that kind of money? Oh, please. And I wouldn't have no Billy Badass representing me. They laughed. Now I done the road with this woman. They laughed. It was a joke. To now I sit and watch you try to explain racism to this woman when I was trying to explain it back then, but it was a joke. So
what's our solution then, Mo? Like, what's the resolve? Like,
great question.
What's the make right? Like, at this point, I haven't had a platform like this, like the one that I have now, to have open dialogue, conversation, and just this is what this is. I'm saying what I want to know from you. And granted, you're talking millions of people now listening to this. Like, how do we get to a solution? How do we get to a place of understanding, and not just from you to them, from them to you? And I don't even like saying, right, I'm going to say honestly, I'm a guy that is so big on, at this point in my career, not just breaking the ground, but really being a part of the conversation of pushing us forward, right?
Yes.
When I'm still hearing the murmurs of a talent as amazing as yourself, I'm still hearing the murmurs, like you said, like you're still using the blackballed phrase and the term. It's like, in a culture and time where people feel like we can cancel, we can stop, we can end. It burns me up when it carries out and carries on, and our talented are all of a sudden, we're no longer in a position to give what we love to give. How do we find a resolve? How is when you say like, yo, we've reached out or we tried or what, like, what's the solution? What does Monique want? Is it just when you say make my name clear, is it the public side of she was misrepresented, or it was this context and dialogue that was attached to her name at this time? You want to hear people say it was wrong, untrue. Does that make you go, oh, weight lifted? Or is it, I want to be paid for my services for when I did this and I was told that I would get this and I never got it? Is it I was lied to on this contract, I didn't sign? Like, what's the resolve and solution?
Let me tell you what the solution is, Kevin. Number one, for me to get my career back, to get my livelihood back. And you sit in that platform. You sit in a platform right now where you can say, hold up, I know her and I know her talent and I know she's funny. So I want my sister. And then I want to make sure we pay her fairly because I know what she brings. See, that can be the solution. The solution also is when you say we got to have dialogue and conversation. What our community is used to is we do cancel. We do throw away. We do say on to the next. You sit in a position where if you could say, hold up, Tyler, Oprah, Lee, the president of Lionsgate, because that's the position you sit in, why don't we get together? Because I do know this woman and I do know what she stands for. And what she's saying, she wasn't wrong. She was not wrong. And when you have those people saying she was not wrong.
So then if it is getting that conversation together,
yes,
which I very much am in a position to do, to say, hey guys, granted the world of rooms right now is very few far in between because of just the times and the pandemic. But if there is a conversation where I'm like, hey, all I'm asking is this. I'm asking to put together said Zoom, said thing for everybody to get on, but with the purpose and intent to find a resolve. And Mo, when you're talking to me about getting your career back, when you're talking to me about doing what you love, me as the guy that was 24, that was hugged by this woman, that was loved by this woman, that was so fucking dope, or that felt so dope to be accepted and a part of, when you were, oh shit, that's Monique. I'm talking Monique the goddamn talk show. I'm talking Monique the tour. I'm talking the Queens of Comedy. I'm talking Monique was fucking Monique. And Monique then went to goddamn the big screen. Monique didn't stop being Monique. Monique is still Monique. Monique is a bad motherfucker when it comes to this comedy game and when it comes to this comedic acting game. I don't want to see pride. I don't want to see pride. I don't want to see stance get in the way of progression. And I feel, I don't know, I'm saying I feel like I'm looking at a case of 4 to 5 stances of pride without finding solution. And if you're telling me like, Kevin, I want to talk to these people and my solution is clear my name, let me get my career back. Okay, well that's step one. All right, what's step two? What else do you need? What else do you want?
Well, I don't know how else to answer that, but when I say to you, see, when you saw Janet's interview with Will, did you see that interview?
We're talking about
Aunt Viv.
Yes.
Did you hear what that woman said?
Absolutely.
I lost 27 years of my life. I lost everything. So you're saying, Monique, what do you want? Kevin, do you know what it is to sit in this shit? Do you know what it is for your kids to have to sit in some shit and you know it's a lie? And it's a woman that looks like you and she ain't saying shit? And it's people that look like, so when you say, Monique, what's the solution? Number one, y'all, please, give me back my name. Give me back my name. Number two, when people have said, Monique, you a dope ass talent. Because see, when you say, just for me to play it for you, you start naming down all the shit I did. Not one time was I considered difficult. Not one time was I considered hard to work with. Not one time was I considered none of those things. The moment I said no, now you're going to make my family suffer? Because I simply told you no. If I broke a contract, they would have sued me. If I did something wrong, I would have gotten sued, but I didn't, Kevin. So again, baby, when you do sit in that position, and I am prideful, let me be clear. I am prideful.
Let's be very clear, which is not bad.
Because when you know the story of Hattie McDaniel, I made it my business to know it. When you know the story of Fannie Lou Hamer, I made it my business to know it. When you know the story of Ida B. Wells, I made it my business. When you know the story of Eartha Kitt, I made it my business. And when you see the stands those women took, I didn't see a lot of Black men standing around them. I didn't see a lot of Black women standing around them. So here's my question to you. Will y'all repeat history on me? Will you wait for me to die and then say she was right?